All right, welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. You guys know the drill by now.
Yeah,
We're going to dive deep into a topic that you are interested in. It looks like we're going to be talking about classic collector cars today.
sounds good.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, definitely. Right in my wheelhouse.
And yeah, so specifically, we're looking at this new service that's being offered by guyswithrides.com.
Okay.
You've probably heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
And they're doing something a little bit different now with these affordable self-serve auctions.
Interesting.
So we're going to try to figure this out together, see if it's a good thing, see if it's a bad thing.
Right.
What are the, pluses and minuses?
Yeah, exactly. What's the deal?
But it seems like they're really trying to target like a gap in the market.
Yeah, and there is a pretty big gap there. I mean, you've got, on one hand, you've got Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace.
Which could be a little bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why people say, you be careful or maybe don't even use it.
All right.
Especially for something as expensive as a classic car. You don't want to get scammed.
You hear these horror stories.
Yeah.
And on the other end of the spectrum, you have these high-end auction houses.
Right.
Like, Bear Jackson and those.
Yeah, the ones you see on TV.
Exactly. Where they're selling cars for, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Millions sometimes, yeah.
But, if you're just an average person, like who wants to sell maybe like an old Mustang or something.
Right.
It's probably not.
You're not going to get a Bear Jackson.
No.
For that kind of thing.
So that's where guyswithrides.com is saying, okay, we're filling this need.
Right.
This gap.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
So how do they work? How do they different?
So the first thing that jumped out at me was the pricing. Like I said, these are self-serve auctions. So you go on there, you create a listing. And to list your car, it's literally $1.
Wow.
Like, I couldn't believe that.
That is pretty remarkable.
And then if your car sells, you pay an additional $49.
So $50 total to sell your car.
Yeah.
If it sells.
If it sells?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Pretty crazy, right?
I mean, that's way cheaper than, traditional auction houses.
Absolutely.
And even a lot of those online classified sites.
Yeah, you're paying a lot more than that. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty big draw.
Definitely. I mean, think about it from a seller's perspective. $50 is not a lot of money to risk
Right.
to potentially,
Sell your car.
sell your car for a good price.
And they do give you some choices.
Okay.
So it's not just like, okay, here's your one option, take it or leave it. They've got 3 different ways you could sell.
Okay.
The first one is a no reserve auction,
Okay.
which means basically you're saying, I'm letting the market decide.
Whatever it goes for.
Whatever the highest bid is.
I'm selling it.
That's what I'm taking.
I see.
So that's if you're okay with any price.
You need to get rid of the car.
Yeah, that's a good option. The second option is a reserve price auction. So
Yep.
it means you set a minimum price, and the bidding has to reach that price before you are obligated to sell it.
So you've got a little bit more control there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the third option is buy now,
Okay.
which is basically, you set a firm price, and someone can come along and say,
I'll take it.
I'll take it for that price.
Right.
Or you can even allow people to make offers.
So it's kind of like a combination of an auction and a classified ad.
Yeah, kind of a hybrid approach.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's interesting. They're trying to give sellers, some flexibility.
Different options to fit their needs.
Yeah.
That's good.
So let's talk about some of the other benefits for sellers.
Okay.
One thing that they emphasize is that they vet all bidders.
Okay.
So you're not just dealing with, some random person who may or may not be
Right.
legitimate.
You want to make sure they actually have the money to buy your car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid scams and all that.
Right.
They also guarantee that your listing will be posted within 2 days.
Okay.
So, you don't have to wait weeks or months.
So it's a pretty quick turnaround time.
Exactly. And then if for some reason you need more time, you can extend the auction.
Okay. So they're giving sellers a lot of control over the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're really trying to make it, easy and secure for sellers.
User friendly.
Yeah. Now, what about the buyers?
Yeah. Good question. What's in it for them?
Well, one of the big selling points for buyers are the low fees.
Okay.
So unlike those traditional auction houses where you're paying, sometimes 10% or more,
On top of the sale price.
yeah, as a buyer's premium,
Eh.
guyswithrides.com only charges a 1% buyer's fee,
Wow.
and it's capped at $500.
So even if you're buying a super expensive car, you're not going to pay more than $500.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So that can save buyers a lot of money,
Yeah, potentially thousands of dollars compared to those traditional options.
and it gives you more buying power.
Right, you can bid a little bit higher.
Yeah,
Knowing that you're not going to get hit with those crazy fees at the end.
exactly. And another nice feature for buyers is their automatic bidding system.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So you can basically set your maximum bid, and then the system will automatically bid for you.
Up to that amount.
Yeah, so you don't have to sit there and keep refreshing the page
Right.
and
Get into those bidding wars.
yeah, you know how it gets sometimes.
Especially get emotional.
Right to the last minute.
People are,
Bidding goes crazy.
trying to outbid each other. So
Yeah.
this way you can just set it and forget it.
So it takes the stress out of it.
Exactly. And they also don't do any time extensions at the end of the option. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So when the clock hits 0,
It's over,
that's it. Game over.
which is good, because sometimes those time extensions can be a little bit,
Manipulative.
yeah, they keep extending it. Extending.
Trying to squeeze out every last
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah. So it sounds like guyswithrise.com is really trying to appeal to both buyers and sellers.
Right. Create a win-win situation.
Yeah. And it's definitely an interesting approach,
It is. Yeah.
and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
How it impacts the market.
Yeah, should this be the future of buying and selling classic cars?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they're onto something here. If they can really deliver on these promises,
Right.
the low fees, the transparency, the security, that could be really appealing to a lot of people.
Absolutely. All right, so there you have it. The lowdown on guyswithrides.com's new self-serve options.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm curious to see how this develops,
Yeah.
Will this become the new normal?
Right.
Or will people stick to the traditional ways of doing things?
And what about the impact on prices?
Right. Could this drive prices up or down? Who knows? But it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive,
My pleasure.
and we'll see you next time.
See you later. C18.